In example 2, we are starting with 7, and we need to multiply to get to 875. So let's set up an equation just like we did in part 1. So when we're starting here, our equation, we would start by 7, and then we need to figure out how many times are we multiplying by that common ratio to get to 875. So we can see that we're multiplying once here, twice, and then 3 times. So we can represent that as times x, and times x. So we have 3 jumps or 3 times that we're multiplying in order to get to that 875. So this is going to equal 875. So again, what we're looking at is that we need to multiply by the same number 3 times to get to 875, and we represent that with the 3 x's that we're multiplying here. And then repetitive multiplication, we can simplify the way we write that, and we can change this to say 7 times x raised to the third equals 875. So x times itself 3 times is the same thing as writing it as x to the third. Then we can isolate this x to the third. To do that, we would divide both sides by the 7. So we divide this by 7, which would give us x to the third. And then we need to divide 875 by 7, and 875 divided by 7 will give us 125. And then at this point, we want to guess and check. And so you can start plugging some numbers into your calculator to see which numbers are going to work. So if you keep trying, you will see that 5 raised to the third power is 125. So we can say here that x is equal to 5. And again, that's just a matter of guessing and checking and plugging in your calculator to find one that works. So if we know that x is equal to 5, that's what we call our common ratio. And that's the number we are going to multiply by each time. So if we do 7 times 5, we get 35. So we can fill the 35 in here. And then we do 35 times 5 will give us 175. And then it's always a good idea to check one more time. If we take 175 and multiply by 5, we want to make sure we are getting to that 875, which we are. Then the second part to this question says, is the missing term that you identified the only answer, why or why not? And then here we could say, yes, it is. Okay, there's no other number we can raise to the third power to get 125. So here we would say, yes, 5 is the only number when cubed that equals 125.